Hi guys, it's Tommy with Sweet Tea Designs. I'm back with you today with the Sunflower Glitter Wood Grain Peekaboo Tumbler. This turned out really good. It's my Sunflower Glitter 20 ounce skinny. I just took this off the tumbler this morning. I just let it go overnight and let it do its thing. But I do have some rough spots, and because I'm not going to be using water slide for this, I am going to go ahead and sand down some of the rough spots, show you how to do that. And then I am also going to show you how I apply my decals. These are the decals that I'm going to be using. I may not use all of them. I have a big one, I have a couple medium-sized ones, and then a couple small ones. And then I also have her name. So I'm going to use those, and then after that, after I apply the decals, I'm going to spray the whole cup with Rust-Oleum's 2-time Paint Plus Primer. Sorry, I can't talk today. Matte white. So that's kind of where I'm going to be with you today, and then we'll go from there. After the paint, we're gonna apply the wood grain look. We're gonna go into that. I think this video may end up being like 2 different parts today, just because I have to wait and in between the spray and all that. So but this is the alcohol ink I'm going to be using. It's Tim Holtz brand, all 3 of them. It's latte, ginger, and caramel. I may not use all 3. It depends on how dark I want it and the look that I end up with. I usually gravitate to the caramel, but we're gonna see how this goes today. And I think that's all you'll need. I've got my cup, I've got my sandpaper, I've got my 91% alcohol to clean after I sand, I've got my alcohol ink. This is the kind of brush that I use. I like it because it's frayed, it's old looking, it gives me a really nice wood grain look. So that, and then my decals and all of that. So I think we're ready to jump in. I'm going to tilt you guys down so that you can see what I'm doing every step of the way. And so let's get started. First, I'm going to start with the sanding. I've got a couple rough spots. So I don't go over this like super hard because, again, this is extra fine glitter that I used, and it's not really going to need a lot because the next round of epoxy will cover that, and for the most part, and then again it's going to be painted over and everything. So I'm just kind of trying to smooth down the rough, get it pretty smooth here. I want a really smooth surface for this cup. I want as smooth as I can get it for this cup. Yeah, I think that pretty much did it. Let me hit this bottom real quick and these edges a little bit. It doesn't take much, guys, just a quick little go around. Yeah, see, that did that. And it's pretty smooth. I don't feel any more roughness, so I'm going to put that up. And I'm going to get my alcohol and I'm going to just go over this one good time, just to make sure everything's clean and nice feeling. Get that dust and everything off so that my spray paint sticks really well. And then again, like I said, I'm not using water slides, so what happens is that once you put your next layer of epoxy on, the epoxy will get rid of all of these sanding marks. All right, so I'm good there. I'm gonna get this, my little cup holder here, and I'm gonna figure out kind of where I want her name first, because that is the most important part of this cup, is making sure the name gets on there. And actually, I almost forgot to cut it out yesterday. I was in such a craziness that I actually almost forgot to cut it out. Sorry, guys, I had to reach back and get my squeegee. But I remembered, so it's all good. So I think I'm just going to put her name right up here at the top. Nothing special. I did not want to go all the way down the cup because, first of all, it's just a 3-letter name, and that would have been really big and bulky. And I also did not want to take away from the sunflowers when I did this either. So I made a smaller one, you know, with her name. And I'm just going to go right across the top here. This cup doesn't have any physical markers on it, like, you know, the Ozark Trails have the little mountains or whatever, to figure out which is the front and the back, or, you know. So I'm just going to pick a spot and go. This cup is a lot of just, you know, personal preference as far as that goes. So I'm just going to put that there. Make sure it's very, very smooth and laid down. We're gonna peel this back up, you know, after you wood grain it, but you don't want any bubbles or anything like that, because if it's sticking up, or if you've got bubbles, you're gonna have leaks and runs in your alcohol inks, and so you don't want that, because then you won't be able to tell what it is. Well, I can't get my transfer tape to come up. Huh. Okay. All right. There we go. And then you just peel this back. Make sure everything's laid down again, once again. And then see, what's going to happen is when you spray it and then you wood grain it and then you peel these back, the yellow is going to show through. So this is going to be totally awesome. So I think under her name, so there's how her name turned out. I think under her name, I want to do my big sunflower, just right there. So I'm going to cut that one out. And again, like I said, I may not use all of these sunflowers, but I'm actually made a whole page of these because I had one page of scrap vinyl laying around, and so I made a whole page, and then I got to picking, and I was like, you know what, I don't want to pick no more, or weed, and so this is as far as I got. And then I thought about it, and I was like, well, that's probably too many anyways. So I have a whole sheet of sunflowers for when I need them again. And I'm just gonna place it here. And I start from the middle and work my way out. I know this is the boring, tedious part, guys, I know. But I wanted to kind of do a step-by-step on this cup. That way, if someone has any advice for me for later, or if I may even be helping someone out that's struggling. So I've got a lot of reasons for just really doing a step-by-step with this tumbler. It's a multi-part tumbler, and I know when I first started out, I was very, very intimidated by like cups that took more than, 2 steps. I really didn't want to try those. I was nervous, and if you mess up on this step, you can't do this step, all of that. So I just, I want to tell everyone that it's okay. It's going to be okay. So now I'm going to center this and then work my way around, because I know I've got something here. So I don't need to move into that territory. So I'm just going to, I think I'm going to go with the medium-sized one now. Excuse me. And then kind of alternate. My mother gets on to me all the time because I am a patterned person. I am a even number type of person. I'm a very specific placer, or place type person. And she's like, no, that's not what this is about. She said odd numbers are great for crafting. And, I don't know if any of you have ever heard that, but I've got taught that. And, just put it however and just go with it. Do what and my projects tend not to work out as good as hers. So, I'm trying my hardest lately to be more sporadic and more just kind of go with the flow and, whatever works. And it's starting to kind of work for me, for the most part. So I'm just placing these decals, around and in different spots. I think I'm going to go with a small one this time. I want to make sure there's my patternness again. I want to make sure I kind of get 1 or 2 of every, size, so that it doesn't look so placed and put together, if that makes any sense. It's like a planned spontaneism. I don't even know if that's a word, guys. I'm sorry, it's too early in the morning for all this. But anyways, that's what I'm doing. I'm just placing these in different spots. I don't want to go overboard with the sunflowers, but because I used all that glitter and different things, I want it to show through. I don't see a whole lot of sense in glittering an entire cup just to cover it up. So I'm going to try not to do that here. I think I was looking just now, and I think I want this very tiny one here on the bottom. I think that would look really, really cute. So I'm going to try that. I'm going to try for the bottom. I don't know if that's going to work, but we shall see. I'll just go kind of light on the alcohol ink there, because I do have some spots that are sticking up there, and I'll probably have some leaks right there in the middle, on the little dots there in the middle of my sunflower there. So I'll have to be super careful on the bottom. And then I'm going to go, let's see, I have a pretty big space here. So I'm going to go with this bigger one here. And right there, I think. Hopefully space it out enough to where it looks fine next to those other ones. Okay. There we go. And this paper that I'm using is just the clear transfer paper from like Walmart or something. It's duct tape brand. It's adhesive liner. It's not anything special. This is what I use for just my in-store projects, just me working on them. Now, if I was selling a decal or doing something like that, I would use my good transfer paper. But that's what I use for stuff like this, because it's super cheap and, you know, you can just throw it away, or you can save it, but mine tends to wrinkle when I pull up, so I just throw it away. So I think this looks fine. I've got her name, one big sunflower here, and I've got 1, 2, 3 back here, and then I've got one on the bottom. And so I think that will work. I've got 2 left, but they're really too big, and I don't want to overdo it again. And so I think I'm going to take it in there and do the next step, and then come back, let it dry, and then come back with you guys for the wood grain part of it. So stay tuned, and thank you for watching, and I'll be back.